Right, hello Yellow class, welcome to our PE session for Wednesday. Now today we are thinking about our fun skill number 7 and we are thinking about counterbalance. Before we get on to our counterbalance, we are going to do a warm-up activity which is called on the mat. Now obviously the weather has turned against us a little bit, so we've made a little bit of space inside. You don't need lots of space to do this activity, so you might be able to do it a little bit in your lounge or somewhere. You don't need loads of space. What you do need though is you need a selection of about 15 toys, but you need to make sure you've got toys. Now lots of these that I've selected are the toys with beans in them because they will land a bit better if you are throwing them. If you've got really light toys, you'll find that when you throw them, they don't land where you want them to. So you need something with beans in them so they have got a little bit of weight. You might want to get yourself a line that you can start behind. I've got a hoop there because one of the activities we've got to collect the objects and put them in the hoop. You also need a dice, and those are the things that we need for today's session. So what we'll do, Adam and I will work you through some of the activities, and then after we've done that, we'll go on to our challenges, and then we'll work from there. So first warm-up activity is, one at a time, we're going to go and collect the objects from the mat. So you go first, Adam, and we're going to put them in the hoop. Right, so you get the idea for that activity. So basically you collect them one at a time. What you can do is if you collect all the objects, maybe you can use a timer to see how quickly you can collect all of those objects. Now the next challenge is a little bit more tricky, and I might put our hoop in the middle because it was a bit tricky when we practiced over here, wasn't it? This time you have to go up with your partner to collect the objects, but you can't carry them back in your hands. You've got to work together using different parts of your body. Right, are we ready? Let's start with Pony. What are we going to do? Should we try with our arms? So we're going to try with our arms. Right, back a bit and drop. Yes! What should we try this time? Do you want to try the chest? That's a hand.
Yeah, we can do
You can't use your hand. No! Right, now, are you looking where you're going? Stop.
No.
And release. Lovely. Now, you need to work together for that one to make sure that you've had a go and that you are talking to your partner. What we can do, Adam, I thought if we leave those here, we could actually work the other way for this one.
Yeah,
so instead of aiming them onto the mat, we're actually going to aim our objects into the hoop. Now this time, this is where your dice comes in. So what we're going to do, Adam's going to roll the dice. One. He's going to see if he can throw one thing. It's a bit smaller this time. Oh, well done. This is why you need them a little bit weighted, because then they will land. Or I might go for these. Is that 5? Oh no, that's 6. I can't count. Right, are we ready?
1.
Oh, is that in or not? Not really.
Yes, kind of.
Oh. Now, any that don't go in, you have to come and collect, so you bring them down here, and the idea is that you want to get rid of all of your piece of equipment by aiming them into the hoop. So that's our warm-up activities today. Right, if you leave the dice there, Adam, then we're going to go on to our counterbalance challenge, which is our main part of our session today. We're going to start up here on the yellow challenge. I have put these on the website, so if you want to have a look at them, you can. Right, so this one, we start on the floor.
Yeah.
Our feet are together and they stay on the floor. And what you're thinking about is you lean forward and then your counterbalance, you lean back, so you are using your weight to work together. So lean together and then lean back, lean right back, so that you are counterbalancing each other using all those muscles, and release. Once you've got that going, you can have a go at doing just one hand, so lean back and stretch up, and then have a go on the other side as well, and then come together. You can also have a go at rocking. Now this took us a little bit of a while to coordinate. So ready, you coming this way first, so you can have a go at rocking forwards and backwards.
Oh.
A bit like row, row, row your boat.
Oh.
Adam's found the waistband on his shorts is a little bit tight.
Oh.
Right, and stop there, and then we're going side to side. Which way are we going first?
This way.
Okay, so we're going to rock and roll and try to balance so that you don't fall completely over. Okay, so that's our first challenges. Our second counterbalance challenges are on our green, and this time this is with a large base at the bottom. When it says a large base, that just means that you take 1 foot back, so you are making that base a bit wider. Adam, you might not want it quite so wide because you need that other foot on the floor. Lovely. So again, leaning in and leaning back and putting your trust. You leaning back, that's it. So that you are balancing each other. Come together and then lean back again. Woo, lovely. Oh, I nearly lost you then. Come back in. And then have a go at doing that with one hand. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you leaning back? And then swap over and try that with the other hand. Well done. Then it gets a bit more tricky because now we're going to do this with a small base. So this time our feet are together. Can you move that one in? Lovely. Now this time we find this a bit tricky. So are you ready?
Yeah.
Ooh. So start with 2 hands. We have to think about those muscles in our tummies and in our arms and come back in.
Shame.
You might want to try at home having a little bit of a time and see how long you can hold some of these balances for. And back in again. And then with one hand, so this time, in the picture I've looked and it looks like they've crossed over, so you've got right hand and right hand rather than on the same side. Right, are we ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, and lean out. Oh, think about those muscles. Think about the hand, can you wave? Woo! And come back up. So have a go at those different counterbalances. It says, a last little challenge on here does say, can you perform those with your eyes closed? We are going to have a go at doing those tomorrow, so don't worry if you don't get around to that today. And our little challenge, our activity for today, after you've had a go at these, is to think about making some different balances. In the picture, there are 2 people and the person has turned round and is leaning forward. And can you stretch forward with that arm? And they are working together. And if you found that tricky, you might want to make a larger base at the bottom. You can make an even smaller base by going on 1 foot maybe. But have a go at seeing what different counterbalances you can create with your partner. If you can, I know lots of you have been sending me pictures, maybe you could send me pictures of your different counterbalances that you make. Have a great PE session and I'll see you tomorrow, yellow class.